Welcome to the Rosé wine battle. This time we have Jon Bon Jovi versus Cameron Diaz. Both of these are French rosés, and before we go too far, let me explain exactly how we're gonna do this head-to-head wine competition. We're gonna give out 5 points. 1 point is for the bottle, the general packaging, how it looks on the shelf. Then we're gonna give 1 point for the nose. How's it smell? We're gonna give another point for how it looks in the glass itself. And then we're gonna give 2 points, the most points, for how it tastes. So let's get started. Let's just jump right into it. Let me start by introducing these wines. This here is the wine from Jon Bon Jovi, the frontman of the band Bon Jovi. A lot of people don't know that he was going to call his band Johnny Electric. I think we're all pretty thankful he didn't do that. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2018. And amongst all the amazing awards that Jon Bon Jovi has received over the years, he's only received 1 Grammy. And that was for Best Country Collaboration. Can you believe it? He actually got a Grammy for a country collaboration. It was for the song Who Says You Can't Go Home. The song title is Who Says You Can't Go Home. He did that with Jennifer Nettles. This wine here is from France. It's from the Languedoc region, which is a little bit southern central, maybe a little bit southern to west in France. The winemaker on this is Gerard Bertrand, and he's a famous winemaker with a long lineage of winemaking in France. His beginnings in wine actually date all the way back to 1975, where he started making wine with his dad. He took over the helm. There's kind of an unfortunate story. His father died at a fairly young age, and he took over and created a brand called Gerard Bertrand, in which now he owns several domains and chateaus throughout all of France. It's actually a very large brand in France. So Bon Jovi sought out a pretty qualified guy to make his wine. There is another wine in their line that they're making, and it's a bubbly rosé. Pretty similar, but on the bubbly side. This wine is 13% alcohol by volume, and it's mostly Grenache with a little bit of Cinsault, Mourvedre, and Syrah. And they actually do, it's kind of cool. I don't know if it's going to come through, probably not on the camera, but there's a little strawberry at the bottom of this bottle, and it's supposed to be an ode to the tasting notes of the wine. So evidently it's supposed to taste a lot like strawberry. So we're gonna find out if that holds up a little bit later on. Over here we have Cameron Diaz's wine, and you know, she got her real movie start with the movie Mask with Jim Carrey that really made her famous, and then Something About Mary really put her on the map. She's also the voice for Fiona on Shrek, for those of you who don't know, specifically the movie Shrek Forever After. One really cool fact about Cameron Diaz is that she went to high school with Snoop Dogg. Can you believe that? You have Cameron Diaz and Snoop Dogg in the same high school class? That's pretty cool. And I guess Cameron Diaz is also a little bit of a chef. Her best dish is pork chops, and she does that with a little bit of lemon and thyme. I wonder if it might go with a rosé. Who knows? Anyway, might have to try it sometime. Cameron Diaz is going for a pure and natural wine here with her Avaline, and the grapes are 100% organically farmed. The Avaline line of wine touts that it puts each ingredient on the wine label that it actually puts in the wine. They've pointed out that you are allowed to put up to 70 different additives into the wine without disclosing them on the label. That's a little known fact. And actually, there's been a lot of talk about putting ingredient labels on wine as a result of this. And so hopefully we'll see some of that in the future. I actually agree with her. And so here she actually has ingredients. I'll just read them off to you. And it actually just says grapes, sulfites, and yeast. Kind of funny. Anyway, They did a great job. She works actually through another wine manufacturer. So this is made by a company called Ethic Drinks. And the producer of the winemaker is Michael Alberghetti. Ethic Drinks prides themselves on reducing their carbon footprint as low as they can and promoting recycling as much as possible. The grapes here are again primarily Grenache, again with Cinsault, Caladoc, and Syrah. It's about 12.5% alcohol by volume. Let's jump into the competition itself. So we're going to start with the bottles. You can see this Hampton Water here with Jon Bon Jovi as a diver. It's a pretty sleek bottle. Here I've already opened them, but this one has that little glass top. You see a lot in Rosé, so you don't need a corkscrew or anything like that. It's just a beautiful, sleek bottle. I do say this little kicker, the strawberry at the bottom, as long as that matches up, I kind of like that as a cool little design trick. Over here, they have the screw top. I know they are very sensitive to recycling, and actually the screw top is very environmentally friendly, and so I could see why they would have picked that if that's their MO, is to create the smallest carbon footprint and be most recycle friendly as possible. They definitely picked the right top. Unfortunately, aesthetically, it's probably not the most beautiful choice. The glass cap would be definitely a little more aesthetically pleasing. They've got kind of a definition, more informational label here, and really go into that organic, kind of a more recipe, give you the ingredients kind of label. I'm going to go ahead and give the label design over here to Jon Bon Jovi. It's just pretty classic. This diver, the colors, everything seems to match up pretty nice. They both actually look pretty similar in the bottle. By the way, we have Cameron Diaz is just a smidge darker than Bon Jovi's wine's a little bit lighter in color. You'll know from my other episodes I tend to lean towards lighter in color, only because there's a little bit of astringency sometimes that comes through, and I tend to see that come through because of the color. So now, anyway, we're giving our first point over here to Jon Bon Jovi for the bottle. Now let's talk about how this looks in the glass. Now we always give it a spin and we give it a look. And when you take a look at the color, this is just clean wine. There's definitely no faults in this. Cameron Diaz's wine. And just a beautiful, nice rosé color. It's got just a little bit darker hues over here than Jon Bon Jovi's. Not seeing anything really in the wine itself that would give any concern. When you give it a spin, you're looking at those legs on the sides of the glass. You're looking at how they sheath off. They sheath off pretty quick. So that would explain that there's probably a little bit lower alcohol in this. This isn't a 15% wine. This is about 12.5% wine. They're both about the exact same alcohol. Just beautiful wine. Over here, that lighter color holds up. You give it a spin, and actually this sheets off even faster. So might be a little bit of residual sugar over here in Cameron Diaz's. We'll see on the palate. Not seeing really anything here with Jon Bon Jovi. So this is just really clean, sheeting off the glass, kind of middle alcohol. Again, 12.5%. I'm going to give the look in the glass over here again to Jon Bon Jovi. So Jon Bon Jovi's already up 2-0. And so let's see if Cameron Diaz can catch up in this wine competition. Let's check this out on the nose. We'll give Cameron Diaz's a smell first. Right off the bat, I get some peaches here. I get a little bit of melon and a lot of lime, a lot of citrus here. This is a really nice, clean wine. I'm not picking up any faults or anything like that on this wine. That actually comes off very, very nice and smooth. Let's go over here to Jon Bon Jovi. This is actually lighter in its intensity. It's a lot lighter. This is way more, Cameron Diaz is way more intense of a smell. Here you do get a little bit hint of fruit, a little bit of that strawberry they're talking about, a little bit of almost like a hay almost to this. And then you get that citrusy, that lemon zest, something along those lines. So kind of similar, less intense over here. I really like the intensity of Cameron Diaz's wine here. And that little unusual hint of melon that comes out in this. So I'm actually going to give the nose here, the point from the nose over here to Cameron Diaz. So that's 2 points for Jon Bon Jovi and 1 point for Cameron Diaz. It's all going to come down to which one tastes the best. Let's give it a go. Let's start here. Cameron Diaz. That melon definitely holds on. That's like a not quite ripe. I would say kind of a just approaching ripe cantaloupe almost that comes off in this. And the lime lemon definitely is there. A little bit of like almost like a cardamom that comes out in that. It's a pretty good wine. There's a slight astringency there, but nothing to be concerned about. I would give this a pretty good score here. This is a pretty good rosé put forward by Cameron Diaz. Let's try Jon Bon Jovi's wine. Well, the strawberry is there. It actually does taste like strawberry. A little bit of hint of greenness in there. A little bit almost like a strawberry with, you know, the little leaves still left on the top of that strawberry, a little bit of stem there. It's really a beautiful wine, easy drinking. This has a lot of lime in it, actually. It's definitely a strawberry lime wine. I really appreciate it. Actually, this is a pretty tight competition. I really like kind of both of these, but I'm going to have to give Jon Bon Jovi 2 points for the taste. So Jon Bon Jovi ends up with 4 points in total. Cameron Diaz, sorry to say, got 1 point on her rosé, but overall, both probably worth their price. And if you can find them in the store, I'd probably recommend them. And if both would be great on a nice summer day, you know they're the proverbial patio pounders. I'm going to say so long for now. For this episode, congratulations to Jon Bon Jovi on winning this competition against Cameron Diaz. And in the meantime, please check out my other episodes. Make sure you hit subscribe so we can keep having fun and doing these types of videos. So long for now. I hope I get to see you somewhere on the wine trail.